You have slain Kern. I now have the peace of mind to know that my wife's murderer is no longer around to torment her grave. I cannot thank you enough. I have little of my own, but take these. The gauntlets I wore when I first started carving stone. May they serve you. Take care.
In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos, existing from the hill lands alone. They held not the blessings of the gods, and so were blinded to their own potential.
We lived in ignorance among the savage people. We wasted the gifts of the gods ourselves.
You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. It is where the former Primos, Arches, bade the Hyperion to rise to join our city. Where the gods saw fit to condemn us for our hubris. It will be the altar of our forgiveness. Come, beckoned. Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead. Set the path. We are almost done, beckoned. This mural was to celebrate the great triumph of my people. Though the city floats, it is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I could tell you more. The mural you see before us is meant to represent the triumph. The mural depicts the great sanctification my people have undergone. We were never to ascend past the brutish people you see depicted. Here we are now, thanks to the will of the gods and their tests of valor. But now that they've fallen silent, what awaits us? I know the answer already. Regression. We are so close now. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. We are almost done, beckoned. Come. The antechamber waits below. The end of this awaits. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arches once stood. Long before, Arcais dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arcais stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. The end of this awaits. Please, Beckoned, I have taken my place, but you must also take yours. Thank the gods! Praise be to them! After all this time, I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arcais could not. Command the Hyperion. This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. Before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour? The gods have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idilla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckoned, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Embrace your
Your ignorance is pitiful.
Beckoned. What has happened? Why are Onakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? The Primos has lost his senses. If he thinks his actions will return the love of the gods, he's gone mad with grief. Curse the gods for leaving the thing here. Onakatos will use it to kill all of us. Destroy Idylla? No. That zealous fool. Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Onakatos from here. Take this shield. One of my soldiers dropped it when the Silent Choir ambushed us. I hope it protects you better. How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Be cautious. In these lands. If not, then I must. What is it? Justice is come! Justice is come! Onakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his Silent Choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Onakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Onakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Onakatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Onakatos and his Silent Choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Nixaros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. Nyxoros is one of the many portions of the city carved out, but never raised into the sky. Anakatos and his silent choir use it as a retreat. It is an old portion of the city that was never raised up. It was supposed to be a shrine of quiet contemplation. Now it is the refuge of Anakatos' silent choir. The complex rests where it was first carved, in the mountains of the Teeth. Be cautious in these lands. We cannot waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough. We should try near the shrine of Athene. Anakatos prizes her above all else. I would wager he keeps his secrets with her. Farewell. I must.
Beckoned, not time. See, Primos, below.
What is it?
Anakatos, make this record in penance for my disappointment of the supreme goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor, so that I could help my people find her strength once more. I have committed several acts that may have angered her, and now I purge myself of them so I might find her grace again.
Hold a moment. These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait. I recognize some faces. Bilfron. Armandia. These were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought? Farewell.
I am afraid we have dishonored my master, Arches. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve, and we use the power of his position to force us on the true path without his help. Slavery, oppression, pain, all I use to mold them into what is deemed worthy.
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
I found this in our struggle. No doubt some form of torture device. But your strength can apply it for good. Now to decipher what the cultist said. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion. I do not know what the council is, but I have had enough surprises today. I only hope that we can find it of use. I know what this place is now. These travesties, these heresies, these are what Anakatos truly is. I can only imagine what labors Anakatos had them perform. Could this have been the cause for Garank's war? I do not believe so. The council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies? Very well. Ahead are the torture chambers, it seems.
I won't hold.
What can I do? This room looks like the Hyperion antechamber.
Finally the day has come. The wait has been long and nearly unbearable. But at last, you are here. Before my strength has fled me, ever since the day I brought ruin to my people, I thought this burden was my punishment. It seems I have not survived for my sake, but for yours. It is a joy to see you beckoned. I have much to tell you, and I do not have much time left. I am Arcais. Once I was the Primos of the Colossi, but no longer. It is what Anukatos calls me, for though his faith runs deep, his knowledge of the gods' will is malformed. You must have seen the travesties this false prophet has wrought in the name of my people. And now, the Hyperion is his. We must focus on the Hyperion. The gods brought you here because you can answer the riddle of my people's fate. You, and you alone. Yes, you and it both. For without you, the cipher cannot be of use. And without it, your power cannot be harnessed. For the riddle of my people's future is one the gods themselves cannot answer. Fate is obeyed by all. By all. Except for you. More than that. It was Anukatos who insisted we build the antechamber. That we try and force the Hyperion to rise. In desperate times, his thought made sense. But when I brought the wrath of the gods down, only he and I survived. He dragged me, broken to his domain, and kept me on the edge of life, so he could learn the wisdom of the Primos. The power to change fate. That is the role of the beckoned. To serve the gods and unbind my people. But Anukatos schemes. Though he will not receive the favor of Athene, he is not ready for the Hyperion. He will bring destruction. It is too soon. But I have left the answers long before. Find Sikandra. Ask her about our last day. And tell her I am sorry.
Arcades. I had always... He had died. Anakatos had him alive and tortured. I thought... I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet. Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke, before the Hyperion tragedy. He asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seemed bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? Very well. I have seen more than I ever needed to here. But at least we found out what we needed to know. Arcades. This is larger. Across the years this event now stretches. But Arcades has left us with the knowledge to finish it. Farewell.
How my master was brought nearly to his death. Arcades failed Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state that would be worthy of her power and wisdom. At my behest, he sought the Hyperion force to the sky to earn our recognition. The ensuing eruption of Athene's wrath killed many, and nearly took dear Arcades.
What is it? Anakatos has done more than he could ever answer for, but he will answer to me nonetheless. If your purpose is to unlock the Hyperion, then you should do so. I have business there as well. It is an ancient place high in the teeth of Naros. I do not understand its significance. But we need answers, not more riddles. Let us unravel this as quickly as we can. The fate of my people is at stake. There was much he should have answered for in his lifetime. But what we saw in Nyxaros, he didn't deserve it. He didn't. I don't know why Arcades spoke of this. Apparently, it's necessary for unsealing the Hyperion. But how? I was expecting answers from Nyxaros, and we're only getting more questions. The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head! Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic... Anakatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anakatos may have accomplished his goal. Be cautious in these lands. Our final task waits. The city seems intact, but still, the henge has already become disrupted. Anakatos has sealed us from the city. It is only a matter of time before he finds a way to destroy Idylla. We must find what Arcais spoke of, and quickly. Arcais requested specifically that we go to the shrines of earth and air on the last day we spent together. There are 2 sites in the wilderness, touched by the gods, one in the peaks of the Teeth, and the other in its canyon. These were called the Shrines of Earth and Air. I thought nothing of them, but Arcais knew. He must have known this day would come, when we needed them. Yes, I was young, but a talented guard. He asked me to escort him personally. Yes. The Hyperion was larger, more impressive, but these areas bore the same mysterious substance that the Hyperion was crafted from. We have never seen its like before. It must be some divine element. The gods use it then as a marker for us. I cannot say for sure, but there is more than coincidence here. That Arcais showed these places to me, that he mentioned them as he died. But we have little else to act on, and with every moment the chance of Anakatos' calamity occurring grows greater. The Shrine of Air is a holy site we found nestled in the highest peaks of the Teeth of Naros. We found a stone there, the same material as that of the Hyperion itself, but we never knew why the gods left such a marker. It lays in the crags of the Teeth of Naros, in the shadows of the great rocks. There is a stone there that resembles the Hyperion in its own way. We don't know why the spot was marked the way it was. Perhaps we will finally find out. It rests in the teeth of Naros, but south of the Hyperion and the city. It is nestled between the great crags of rock that make these mountains. Be cautious in these lands.
Beckoned. Can such a wrong